Hi, it's Rabbi Lewis wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom. And just get this out of the way. Yes, the beard's gone. It was just time. So we enter into our study of the book of Leviticus this week with Parshat Vayikra. And it calls to mind one of my favorite internet memes. It's going around these days where you have a supposed dialogue between literally nobody with nothing said. And then here comes Leviticus that says, well, here's a bunch of ways to slice up animals and burn them on the altar. Nobody was seeking that information, yet this is what we get as we leave Exodus and enter into the book of Leviticus. And if it sounds like I'm somewhat cynical, yes, I am. But just the same, I came across something recently that makes me question even my own cynicism and leads me to perhaps do a different type of investigation into what we learn in Parshat Vayikra. This definition of a cynic comes from Dr. Tal Becker, who is a senior fellow at the Shalom Hartman Institute in Jerusalem and a leading expert on the Middle East peace process. He writes, "The essence of a cynic is a dismissive attitude to the chances that things will get better. He regards as childish the passion and sincerity of those who believe otherwise. What others may see as uninspired or unmotivated, the cynic sees as sober and streetwise. Yes, he is a realist, but his brand of realism can bring out the worst in others and doom him to entrench and perpetuate the reality that he sees." Now, Dr. Becker was writing specifically about the attempts to bring peace in the Middle East, but it's also something that expands larger to the idea of cynicism that when you're too cynical, it dismisses the idea of hope. When it comes to matters of spirituality, if we're cynical all the time about it, it dismisses the idea that we might be able to have some sort of closer connection with the divine, to bring God nearer to us. And that's really what the sacrifices all throughout the Torah are about, are attempts to improve your life and to bring God nearer to you. When we read about all these different types of sacrifices, there's sacrifices for a sin offering, for a penalty offering, for sacrifices of well-being, and so on, that there are different purposes why someone might then bring an offering to the temple. Now, we have eliminated sacrifices in our post-temple world, and we have to find other ways to try and make offerings of our hearts. That's been mostly through prayer, but there are other ways too. At its heart, the word for sacrifice, the root is korban. The root is kuf resh vet, keruv, which is to draw near. So the reason that they did these sacrifices in the temple were attempts to draw God nearer and to make their lives and the lives of everyone around them better. That's the core of it. In a post-temple world where we don't bring sacrifices of animals, we bring sacrifices of our hearts through worship, through honoring our traditions and our holidays, but also through the way that we draw creation near. Martin Buber, the Jewish philosopher, taught that, through our I-thou experiences with other parts of nature, we bring other parts of creation near. I have a dog sitting here on the floor near me, and when I care for him, I help to bring him nearer to me, and thereby, through that interaction, through that dialogue, also bring God nearer to me as well. We say that about people, even more so when we bring our loved ones closer to us and care for them and invite their caring in return. We are not cynical anymore because we're not dismissing the opportunity to make things better. We're actually inviting the betterment of our lives. And then even those people who are not our friends or our loved ones right now, we work to bring even our enemies or people that we think we have nothing in common with. We can work to bring them closer to us as well. And that is the keruv, or the korban, the offering that we want to make that will thereby draw God nearer to us as it brings us hope for a betterment, not just in our own lives, but for our community and for our world. So it's no longer the slicing and dicing and burning of animals that is the offering. The offering is the intentionality that we put into overcoming our cynicism, to setting aside the idea that maybe we're the rational, streetwise ones that say there is no hope, and say, I want there to be hope, and I'm going to go out of my comfort zone to do things that draw other parts of creation nearer to me. The care I give to the environment, the care I give to my pets, the care I give to my family, and the care I give to the people who are the friends and the friends that I haven't made yet. So we do have the opportunity for modern day sacrifices through the book of Leviticus, if for a moment we can just set aside our cynicism and focus on our hopes for the future. I hope you have a wonderful Shabbat, and look forward to seeing you all very soon. Shabbat Shalom.